The Oklahoma City Thunder continue to trade all of their assets for high-value picks, but if they make this one mistake, it could be all for nothing. So the last time the Thunder and the Supersonics got a lot of picks like this in a row, they drafted Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka, 3 MVPs. Obviously they're all great players, and the Thunder should be proud that they were able to draft all of them. But at the same time, they never won a championship. Now part of that was bad luck, and part of it was injuries, but they made a key mistake that they never should have made that could have resulted in multiple championships. And I'm not even talking about that James Harden trade. That trade was terrible and they never should have made it. That is also a key mistake. But if they would have did what I'm going to talk about before, then that trade never would have had to happen. When KD was asked why he left the Oklahoma City Thunder, I mean, he's given a lot of different answers over the years and it always seems to be changing, kind of like Paul George. But one of his answers, which really stood out to me, was he said the Thunder were continuing to grab young athletic players and refused to grab veteran players. Sorry, Kendrick Perkins, but we're going to leave you out of this one. Because for the most part, Kevin Durant is actually spot on. Now, the first time the Thunder made the finals, they played the Miami Heat. And I know they were playing against LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, a bunch of Hall of Fame players. But if you remember, it was actually Mike Miller that made all the difference and helped seal the series. He made a ton of threes, and he actually played a good leadership role as well. I think this is one thing that is often overlooked with the Oklahoma City Thunder potential dynasty that never was. Because of course, there was injuries, there was bad luck, there was terrible GM decisions too by trading James Harden, but they never really had good veteran leaders other than that Derek Fisher stint that they went. But keep in mind, these veteran players need to actually be able to get heavy minutes. I'm not talking about like 38, 39-year-olds over the hill trying to ring chase. I'm talking about veterans that'll get a ton of minutes and be able to make a difference on the floor. And the Thunder never really had that. In fact, if you watch some of the Thunder's best games from those years, it was often just Russ, KD, and Harden trying to score as many points as possible. The offense never really had a clear direction, and part of that is on coaching, but part of that also is on a lack of veteran leadership. Let's take a look at Philly for a second. How far have they gone without Jimmy Butler versus with Jimmy Butler? He took over the reins, he would handle the ball, and he'd play lockdown defense, but he was also a leader. He made them want to win. He made them want to compete, along with JJ Redick as well. Another veteran that was making clutch shots and has been there before. Embiid and Simmons had never been there before. Those veterans brought them to another level because, remember, Ben Simmons scored a single point against the Celtics. I mean, when you have a veteran on your team, they can amp you up. They can make sure that doesn't happen, that you don't have a breakdown like that. And the Thunder just never had that throughout their entire tenure. And even look at the Thunder from last year. Chris Paul was able to make the playoffs and almost beat the Houston Rockets. They had no business doing that. Now, if you imagine if you gave those younger players a couple more years, or what if you just put those younger players in their prime? That could make all the difference right there. So overall, I think Kevin Durant makes a pretty good point here. They never had leadership. They just had Russ, KD, Harden, a bunch of young athletic players, and they were studs, no doubt. They were talented, but overall you need either a better coach or more on the court coaches, and they had neither of those. So really, them not winning, of course it's on them as well. I'm not trying to give them a pass, but part of it has to go on the GM for not making deals to get veterans. And the point I'm trying to make is the Thunder are now trading all of their veterans for picks, and right now it doesn't matter because they're not where they want to be yet as far as the rebuild goes, so they're just stockpiling those picks. Now when they go and they pick those players and they get their talented studs, because they have so many that they're bound to get one superstar. I mean, let's be honest. So when they get those young superstars and they pair them with Gilgeous Alexander and they pair them with these guys, they need to make sure that they also grab some veterans that can actually lead these young guys and show them how to win. Guys that have been there before, whether it's a championship experience, deep playoff runs, or just game changers in general, like a Rajon Rondo type. They need to make sure that they add those guys to the lineup. Otherwise, you're looking at OKC 2.0, baby. You're looking at those same athletic dudes, studs, scoring a ton of points, MVP caliber players that just never win a championship. Even LeBron needed Dwayne Wade to show him how to win. Even the most talented players needed somebody that could show them the way. Not everybody, but almost everybody. And so the Thunder, if they want to give themselves the best chance to actually win a championship, because if not, what are you doing all this for? You know, trade those picks, get a superstar right now and be competitive. They want a ring. And to get a ring, you need guys that have been there before. They need to make sure they pair some veterans with these young guys and then watch the team flourish. But that will be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think the Thunder should do? Do you agree with me that once they get these superstars, they need to get some veterans and they need to pay them, and they need to be able to make those guys feel welcome so they don't just walk off, and they also can't make the young guys walk off. They need to make a culture about winning, about leadership, and about hard work. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. See you guys in the next one.